Okay, hi, my name is Darren and welcome back to my Epsilon channel. So for those who are new here, I'm a competitive player who likes to play VGC in a doubles format. But for today's video, yes, I'm going to revamp, or I should say redefine the tier list for Pokemon Elite Redux. So for those who doesn't know, Pokemon Elite Redux are a new ROM game that consists of 4-in-1 abilities in a battle. So that is pretty great, and it can be used in a competitive game game over here. So yeah, that's why I'm here and trying to break the teams down, or each of every individual character that is in a competitive gameplay. But the rule set is that this is for only version 2.5 beta. And just take note that Airblower, Twisted Dimension, and Northwind is banned. Basically, Airblower is like an ability. All these three are like abilities for Trick Room, Tailwind, and Aravio. So yeah, and of course, there's species clause, item clause, and I'm only allowed to use one restricted Pokemon per team. So how do you define restricted Pokemon? Is that I include them all because there are different type of megas, different forms, new Pokemon. So yeah, yeah, I restricted all the restricted Pokemon will be a list of all megas and those Pokemon that has a BST of equal and higher than 670. So basically is, yeah, majority of them is just legendaries, if you can see over here. So yeah, it's just nice that it hits at 670. It will be like the Groudon and Kyogre form, then followed by 660. Kyurem, well, Kyurem is not, it's not busted, so I think it's alright to be in a in the OU tier or something. But yeah, Mega definitely is just I still list them down in the restricted format. So yeah. So yes, and okay, so yeah, now let's move on to the tier list that I have just revamped or redefined the tier list. So SS tier is those tier that has a broken strategy where there is no or few winner, or when there is no or few witnesses. S tier and A tier is actually quite similar. The only difference is that S tier is that it has very high damage output, and it can be used in other roles too, and that can be used in many other roles. Otherwise, both S and A tier is very similar, where it requires no setup, or it's just a first turn setup and then damage it in the first turn. And it can also be used in almost all teams, and it can have many support options. And of course, I also prioritize, no, not prioritize, but I also take into consideration like double target attack is more favorable, like Water Spout, Eruption, Hyper Voice, Boom Burst, so on and so forth. So yeah, but otherwise S and A tier is somewhat similar, just that S tier is mostly on the damage output, and it can be used in many other roles. So yes, I also prioritize those that can be used in some teams, like whether it can be used in a very niche role, like it can only be used in the rain team and circuit terrain team. Yeah, I also will take that into consideration on that note too. So yes, the next tier will be B tier, is where it has some decent damage output, but the thing is that it is requires setup in the first turn, and then the second turn will then be able to sweep. So that means on the second turn we'll do a damage output from there. That is the key point of using a B tier, but otherwise it can be used in some teams and is somewhat used for it. Yeah, it's not as compared to like always commonly used Pokemon in the A tier. So for C tier is it requires more than 2 turns to set up, and it's very niche. It relies on, it can only be used in a few teams, like 1 or 2 teams. And D tier are tiers that can only be used in one particular teams, or be just basically a CMI rule. So that is the D tier. So yeah, so because of all these revamp tier, it's gonna take some time, as I'm some Pokemon may be in the same tier and some will be moved here and there. But I think I will go to the, and also add on some, like if you look at the pin images, I exclude Bijou because I think I will do a separate video out of it. But I also include more other Pokemon because I feel that they will be most commonly used in most probably in the SNA tier, but I will come to that later. But let's move on to the lower tier because it's easier to filter in here and there. So yeah, but yes, first and foremost, Whimiscott. I'm sorry, Whimiscott and Cottonee, they all have the same ability. It's just because of that Cotton Down. Yeah. For some reason, Cotton Down has been bugged in this showdown decks. In this online decks, it says that only the opponents will have the speed loss. If that's the case, yes, it can be high up in the tier. But for some reason, in both showdown and in the in-game, it will still lower the speed of my own ally. So even if the opponent attacks into Whimiscott or Cottonee, it will lower speed of my own ally too. So because of this, I'm sorry, Whimiscott and Cottonee, you are in a very bad spot because, yeah, Whimiscott is a good option for Tailwind, and because Airblower is been banned, so yeah, you can't use Airblower. Prankster ability, it doesn't have Trick Room for some reason, unlike in the original game. So if there's a Trick Room, it might be better, but it doesn't. I'm so sorry. So yeah, even if you have a rich powder, speed control is just so important in these doubles, especially in doubles competitive. So yeah, so that's why I feel Cottonee Whimiscott, even though it's a prankster ability, it just kind of make it all. I'm sorry. So next up is, I will go to Wigglytuff first. So Wigglytuff, it has a bit of, does it have Trick Room? No, it doesn't have Trick Room. It's a bit of an awkward spot too, but it heavily lies on a Trick Room team. So yeah, it could do some work using with a life orb and a magical ability, but it could also be used as an inflatable, where if you get hit by a flying or a fire type attack, it will boost your defense and special defense. So if that's the case, it requires a setup. But otherwise, once you set up a Trick Room, yep, Wigglytuff can just wreak havoc, but it needs to have some setup. So if you're just going to follow my tier, I think it can remain in a B tier, because it can also be used in some teams, not all teams, but it requires some setup. So that's why I will put it in the B tier. So I will just stay put. This Wigglytuff, I will just put in stay put. So likewise for the Mega Wigglytuff, this Mega Wigglytuff, it also requires some setup, then it can do some work and it relies on Trick Room. But then again, it can also be used under, like once you set up a Tailwind, 60 base speed, it can already outspeed some mons. It won't be able to outspeed all mons, but it can outspeed some mons. So, but I think because you can see that Mega Wigglytuff is just so good. It's a very high HP and a very high special defense. So I believe it could be used as a bit of a more defensive variant too. So that could be an option for it. So yeah. But otherwise, because of my revamp tier list, I would go, it will just be slightly on par. It's just a slightly better form of a Wigglytuff, in my own opinion. And because of this Balloon Bomb, and is it Balloon Bomb? Inflatable. No, because of Tipping Point, once you manage to set up, it can just do some work. Yeah. The only problem is that it is very slow. But it can be used in some teams, just not all teams. So I will put it in the same tier list for this. Next up is Froslass. So Froslass, it's pretty interesting. unfortunately, for the original version, it is very niche because of this whiteout and slash rush ability. Yes, even though it has bad luck, but it really requires under a hill. And it can only do damage under the hill. But because special attack with a whiteout, the damage output is still not as high, in my own opinion. So, yeah. Because of this, I feel that it is, even though it just requires one turn like after a tailwind, wait, does it even have snow warning? No, it doesn't have snow warning. So you can't even blizzard unless you want to have a choice scarf or a choice specs blizzard. And just to take note, slash rush chlorophyll has been nerfed unlike the original game. Original game, it will double your speed. For this case, it only ups your speed by 1.5 times. So just take note of that. So yes, in my own opinion, it heavily relies on a heal team. So I feel that it is under the C tier. So yeah, even though it just requires one turn of it requires one turn to set up and damage, but it is very niche and the damage output is just not there, in my own opinion, just for the original Froslass. So yeah. So yeah. But unlike Mega Froslass, the damage output is even way higher. Because it has whiteout and slash rush. So because of this, sorry, what am I saying? Because of this, even though it is also quite niche in a tier that it belongs to a B tier, it could be part of an A tier, because just after a snow warning, its speed is already very high. It can already outspeed after a 1.5 time boost. It can outspeed almost all Pokemon. So yeah, just let me. Yeah, in Showdown it's not updated, so there are some megas that is not, that you can't be seen. So yeah, if you look at a normal Froslass is only 110. Okay, let me see. 110 base speed. Can it outspeed all mons? If it can, then maybe I might put it higher. Okay, 525. Okay. I lied. Okay, so the fastest Pokemon in the world is Regieleki. But of course, Regieleki with a timid nature, max speed is 548. It is one tier lower. The next fastest Pokemon is DLC speed, which is 180. So if you are timid nature and you can outspeed DLC speed, you are good to go. Okay, so yeah, Froslass, base speed 110. Okay, I will put you higher in the A tier. I lied. Okay, I thought it would be at like a 300 and 400 range, but okay, I was wrong. So that means Mega Froslass, Mega Froslass, it can, because of its high special attack and high speed, it can do some work over there. The damage output is even higher than the original Froslass, in my own opinion. So yeah. So that's why Froslass is here. However, yeah, actually not really however. Fortunately, if you ever watched my other videos, Mega Froslass has another role because of its bad luck and Yuki Onna. So meaning once you Mega, Yuki Onna has Scare and Intimidate. Scare is a special attack form of Intimidate, meaning once you Mega, you lower the opponent's attack and special attack. And at the same time, it has bad luck, where the opponent have 5% less accuracy and it cannot crit, and it will always do a damage, the lowest damage roll. So because of this, you can just make it, Mega Froslass can have a support role, just max attack and max defense. And its special attack is already high, so you don't need to boost it, and you can just make this Mega Froslass like a Rillaboom or an Incineroar. So Astonish, it has been revamped. Basically, it's like a fake out user of a ghost type fake out for Astonish. So Mega Froslass is just there to astonish the opponent, and it can it Encore? No, it can disable, it can Aura Veil, it can haze, it can disable, Wait, did I say disable? Yeah, disable, it can encore. Yes, I saw it. Encore. I believe it can wheel waves too. Yeah, wheel waves and even black magic. Wait, sorry, is it? What's it called? Oh, okay, I thought it has bloodshot. Oh, okay, yeah, it has bloodshot. Okay, so what bloodshot does is that it causes the opponent to bleed, and when it bleeds, the opponent will not be able to heal. And it can do, and it's more vulnerable for damage output. Sorry, what damage output? It's more vulnerable, meaning that it will take more damage. So yeah, there's an option for it. So Mega Froslass, burst of this is easily an S tier. So if you follow my tier list, because it has many support role, and it can be used in almost all teams. So basically that's about it. So Mega Froslass will remain in the S tier. Next up, Hisuian Typhlosion. Typhlosion, okay, no need to say S tier for both original Typhlosion and Mega Typhlosion. But for the Hisuian Typhlosion though, it is going to be pretty niche. Because of, even though it has high special attack, it relies heavily on a fog team. And if you just use early grave and Eternal Rush, it relies heavily on a fog team. So yeah, and early grave is that at full HP, it will give a priority attack to a ghost type attack. So meaning it needs to one hit KO mons, and it needs to have a double target attack. Then it can be relied to be on par with Typhlosion. However, there is no double target ghost type. And yeah, there's no double target ghost type. Even though all these move is like 180 base power, but I think Spectral Serenade is a move that, let's see what does it does. Yeah, it can only be used every other turn. Infernal Parade is only a single target attack. So yeah. So because of this, it is really bad. It really relies on like just a first turn tailwind and then heat wave. Does it even have eruption? No, it doesn't even have eruption. So yeah, it totally got nerfed. At least it can heat wave. So yeah. And pyromancy. So that could be a thing about it. So well, it has a new ability called Set Ablaze, where once it inflict burn, it can also inflict fear. So what fear does is that, I can't recall what fear does. Okay, I got confused with bleed and fear. So yeah, when I was talking about for bloodshot will cause bleed. So bleed is something like a burn, just that you cannot heal, like a burn damage. So yeah, just that you cannot heal. And to negate the bleed, or to cure your bleed, you need to recover, but on that turn you cannot recover your HP. On the second turn, then you can recover, or you can use double recover, like double recover, and then you heal pulse, then you can heal back your own HP. So that's what bleed is. And for fear is that when the opponent got fear, it cannot be swapped and it will do more damage. So yeah, that is what fear is. So meaning this Hisuian Typhlosion, once you manage to get a burn, then yes, it will prevent the opponent from swapping out unless you can U-turn it, and then it will do more damage in the next turn, or letting your ally to do more damage. So this could be a pretty good combo with Pyromancy, where it inflict burns 5 times as often. So meaning Heatwave has 10% chance. So with Pyromancy, there's 50% chance to burn the opponent. So that could be an option, but you can't rely on it. My guess is you can use Ember. Ember is a 100% chance to burn. So yeah, I guess that could one thing to take note if you want to trap your opponent. But otherwise, I feel that Hisuian Typhlosion is not as great. For an 85 base speed, what I could think of is just basically Heatwave and Tailwind up with a timid nature. So yeah, but it only has 442. So 442, you won't be able to outspeed a lot of mons. So I always thought that 151 is not as great. So I guess a decent speed tier is, it has to be at least 400. If you're 400, oops. Yes, okay, I was wrong again. Oh my god. Yeah, that's why elite redux is just so, it's just so confusing. So yeah, minimally base speed of 130, which is equivalent to 394 speed stats. It needs to be on par with that to be able to outspeed more mons. And I think I will consider that as like a good speed tier list. So yeah, once you set up a tailwind, or if you're a scarf user for Typhlosion, then yes, you might be able to outspeed those mods over there. So okay. But then again, the damage output is not high. So in my own opinion, I think I still don't, I don't think Typhlosion is that good. So it's either you want to have a choice specs tailwind set, or if not, like a choice scarf and then choice scarf variant and fake tears combo maybe, or under a sunny day, fake tears choice scarf fake tears with a sunny day, then maybe it can do some damage, but I think the damage output is still not as high as compared to like a normal Typhlosion and eruption, or if not like a Froslass. So yeah, I think I might still consider this as a high B tier, because at least it can do some work. Just that because it still requires one turn to set up and then tailwind, but I feel the damage output is just not as high. So yeah. So I give a benefit of doubt. I think I'll go it as a B tier. There is so much better options for Hisuian Typhlosion if you want to use if you want to use a heatwave variant for it. So yeah, like Typhlosion and others, which I will explain later. So in my own opinion, Hisuian Typhlosion is just a meh. Okay, next up, gyaradeath. So gyaradeath is a bit unique. Because of gyaradeath X, is it? No, okay, gyaradeath first. So it's because of this greater spirit. If you're using a greater spirit combo with a fog, it is going to be very niche. Its speed stats is not high. You need either a tailwind or a mon that has a visibility. Okay, I forgot what's this ability called. Low visibility, so that it can summon the Eerie Fog on entry. But there's not a lot of low visibility Pokemon right now. So yeah, there's not such a good low visibility unless you're using a legendary. But well, then again, they are legendary, so I won't be using them. But otherwise, low visibility Pokemon, their speed stats is like, it's all so low. So you can't lead with gyaradeath because of that. The only way is maybe using a Sigilyph, but what can Sigilyph do? The most case is that you need to have a choice scar Sigilyph so that you can set up a tailwind and then gyaradeath can do some work, or otherwise, maybe you can have a helping hand combo if you want to boost your attack or your special attack for gyaradeath. So yeah, so it's a bit of awkward spot for a fog user, unfortunately, in this version 2.5 beta form. The fog user is just not as good for right now, in my own opinion, just to set up the fog. But otherwise, yeah, greater spirit is an option for it, but the roll is the attack stats is decent, but it won't kill. Even though it has Vengeful Spirit where the Vengeance will boost your ghost type attack, the damage output is still not there. So yeah, but however, or I should say fortunately, to make up for it, it has an ability called Scare. So what it does is that it can lower the special attack, as I mentioned. So it could be used as a semi-support, max HP and defense because it has a pretty bad defense, and maybe with a assault vest or a tactical vest, up to you. So yeah, or even a max HP and attack with a tactical vest. So that could be an option. Otherwise, you can use Moxie, but it requires a setup. So yeah, in my own opinion, gyaradeath, it's not as great, but I will still put it as a B tier. So yeah, because there is so other better options of a scare and intimidate like Rillaboom, Grimmsnarl, so on and so forth. So yeah, that is my own opinion. So yeah, next up is the Mega X form, very similar to gyaradeath. The only good thing is that it has been buffed so high with a very high attack and a very good speed. And yes, because of this attack stats and speed stat buff, it doesn't require to use it under the fort team. It can even be used under a sun team because it has a fire type. It's a fire type and it can be used. So yeah, it's a physical attacker. Unfortunately, it only has a single target attack, but its damage output will be very high. And not just that, because of this ability called Funeral Pyre, where non-ghost type and dark type, it will take damage every turn in the field, including your allies. But you can just choose your own ally that is not a ghost and dark type. So I mean, that is a ghost and dark type. So otherwise, yes, because of this ability, you just protect, and then your opponent will have 75% damage, and I believe by then your Mega Death gyaradeath can just wreak havoc. And just if you're going to use a fort team, it can do even more damage. So yes, because even without it, it can still already do a huge amount of damage. So because of this gyaradeath, it's going to be high up in the tier. And it doesn't really require a setup, but if you want to, you can. Just protect and then just do damage. So yeah. But because A tier is of just a first turn setup and then you do damage, actually there's options for it. You know what? You don't even need to protect. You can actually just attack, make it at low HP, then on the very same turn, the opponent will be dead. So yeah, easily A tier. So okay, yeah, gyaradeath is in the A tier. Next up is Sinistcha. Sinistcha is a bit of an awkward spot. It has been nerfed so bad. In the original game, it has access to Rage Powder and Trick Room. Yes, it doesn't even have access to Trick Room. The stats is exactly the same as the original. So even though it has a very decent special attack, it as a support, it doesn't have Rage Powder and Trick Room. So yeah. But the good thing is that because it has a very good special attack and it has a Matcha Gotcha, which is a double target attack, there's options for a Trick Room set. So yeah, but it requires a setup like a Calm Mind with Matcha Gotcha before it can do some damage, or even a Shell Smash and then a Matcha Gotcha. So yeah. So as a support, it got nerfed, but as a carry, it might be a little buff, but it requires a setup. So for this case, if you go up in a tier, if you follow my tier list, it will be in a B tier, which is okay. Yeah, back to normal. So yeah. Next up is Indeedee male and female. Indeedee female, no question asked, S tier because of hospitality. In fact, it's the only Pokemon that has hospitality, Trick Room, and Helping Hand, and a Friend Guard user. So easily S tier for female Indeedee. Male Indeedee is actually I'll put up higher in a tier right now. In fact, higher than a gyaradeath because in just one turn, even though it's quite niche, it's just basically a very good Psychic Surge and E-Force user. For one, you can cast a Future Sight. There's a pretty good thing. Erase his own stats when the foe raise theirs. It's like the original game of opportunities. So there is just a bonus out of it. But Energy Horn, I don't really use Energy Horn, but the main idea of using Indeedee Mew is just a Psychic Surge. And it's a very good size spam over here, in my own opinion, for it. And at the same time, you can have Majagacha. So yeah. I have no idea why there's Energy Horn, where it converts a physical attacker into a physical horn move into a special attacker. So yeah. And the only horn move it has is just Horn Leech and Horn Drill. I have no idea why. Is Horn Drill a double target attack? If it's a double target attack, then yes. Unfortunately, no, it's a single target attack. So yeah. So yeah, I think Indeedee Mew is just an E-Force spam. Pretty good. Just set up a Tailwind, E-Force, choice packs. The E-Force spam has been boosted by a Psychic Surge, and not just that, it increased its attack even further. So yeah, that's why it can even though it's 110 special attack, E-Force will do more damage under a Psychic Surge and it's a stab, and it's a it's a Psychic type attack and hence it will do even more damage under a Psychic terrain. So yeah, so that's why Indeedee Mew easily A tier. Even though it is only used as a Psychic terrain, but it can be used to stop any other priority attack. So because of that, A tier. Oh, this is going to be a very long video. Okay, next is Oriocorio. Oriocorio, it's going to be a bit of a niche. So for this Ghost Oriocorio, it's a bit of awkward spot. So yeah, for this Ghost Oriocorio, it's a dancer move, so it requires a setup to sweep, but because of its weird setup, it still doesn't do much damage. Otherwise, it needs to have another dance Pokemon or a dancer user, so that if both dancer are in the field, the first dancer, where if this Oriocorio is going to set up Quiver Dance, it can set up Quiver Dance twice. So yeah, just one thing to take note. If it's just gonna use one Quiver Dance and then just attack, it will still not do a good damage output for it. So yeah, just take note of it. So this Ghost Oriocorio is a bit of an awkward spot. It requires, I feel, in my own opinion, it needs a lot of setup. It needs at least 2 or 3 dance move before it can do some damage. So yeah. In fact, all dancer move. So otherwise, it's kind of a weird spot, and its weakness will be a priority attack. So yeah. So that's why for this Oriocorio, if you're just going to use a dancer move, Oriocorio is pretty low over here in my own opinion. I think it's in a C tier. It requires a lot of setup before it can do damage. One turn is just not enough. So yeah, unless you are using a 2 dancer move. But if you're using a 2 dancer move, it's really very niche. So yes. Otherwise, yeah, it could actually be a D tier. But because it can have many other roles like a Quiver Dance role, because of that 2-step ability, after using a Quiver Dance, it can do some damage. I will put it in a C tier. And it requires a lot of setup. But because of other Oriocorio, it has a Prankster ability. So because of this Prankster ability, it becomes a very good support role. It has access to Tailwind, it has access to Skill Swap. In fact, I believe it's the only Pokemon that has a Prankster Tailwind with Skill Swap and Haste. So yeah, and an Eerie Fog, and it's an Eerie Fog user. Only, yeah. So because of that, yes, this Oriocorio can be used as a Fog user if you want to. But yes, if you are going to use but because there's a very good strategy, since I already going to explain in Oriocorio, I put them in the S tier because of this broken strategy. If you ever watched my other video, just check it out. It's because of Bruxish. So Bruxish, what it does is that it has Dazzling and On the Prowl. So what Dazzling does is that it protects itself from any priority attack, so that's pretty good. But the amazing thing is that Bruxish it has On the Prowl ability. What it does is that on the first turn, it has an increased priority, and not just that, all negative priority becomes 0. And Bruxish is the only Pokemon that has On the Prowl with Trick Room. Excuse me. As of version 2.5 beta. So meaning it requires speed to, meaning this is a neutral Trick Room, and it just requires speed just to have a setup a guaranteed Trick Room for it. And then you can have a eject button just to force the opponent to attack it, and then you have a face swap into your own slow mon and then carry it over there under the Trick Room. But well, not but. Fortunately, because of this cool strategy with a skill swap prankster ability, Bruxish will have a priority Trick Room. And this is a guaranteed Trick Room. And because of Dazzling, I'm immune to priority, I'm immune to extreme speed, I'm immune to fake out, I'm immune to Typhlosion eruption. So this is a guaranteed Trick Room. So because of this, Bruxish is easily in SS tier now, because of this tier list. And not just that, Bruxish can also be used as a carry. A strong jaw, psychic mind, psychic fang, 105 attack and speed 92 with a tailwind up. Yes, Bruxish can just wreak havoc. So yeah. Yes. So yeah. Strong jaw, mind crush. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It's just gonna wreak havoc. So yeah, Bruxish. So Bruxish, SS tier, and those Oriocorio that I've mentioned, such a good combination with those Pokemon that has a prankster and a skill swap, I'll just put it in S tier. So yeah, because it can be used in so many roles. So that is what I feel, and in my own opinion. So yes. Okay. Next up is Abomasnow. So let's talk about Mega Abomasnow. Mega Abomasnow is the only one for some reason in the showdown. Once you Mega, you can Mega and then you can activate Northwind. So because of that, I put it in the SS tier. Since we all know that Northwind is banned, but there's options in the showdown. You can Mega and then you can Northwind up. So because of this, Mega Abomasnow is an SS tier. Otherwise, there is no other user that can Mega with Northwind. But yeah, so because of this, Froslass, sorry, not Froslass, Abomasnow, it has a pretty interesting team. Base speed of 60 is enough to, is it enough to set up a tailwind? 480, yes, it is pretty good enough. If you want, you can have a set up a tailwind, max speed, teammate nature, and then just blizzard all the way. That could be an option. But otherwise, Abomasnow is just there as a just to set up a tailwind. Sorry, just to set up a heal. If you want to use a heal team, and then you have access to Aura View with a Focus Sash, up to you. Northwind is banned, so you can just use Snow Warning. Chiromancy, yeah, 5 times as often, meaning Blizzard is 100% freeze, so 100% frostbite for this case, not freeze. So yeah. So Abomasnow is going to be pretty good, and yes, it can tank some damage from a super effective damage, so that's very good for Abomasnow. So because of this, I think Abomasnow is an easily A tier. I'll put it as high as A tier because you can just set up a tailwind, or if not, an Aura View variant for it. It can be used as a carry or a semi-support for it. That's my own opinion. So next up is Murkrow. Murkrow is also an A tier because of its support set with Tailwind, Haze combo. But I will put it as a low A tier because there could be other better Tailwind, like illumise, Bobit. I didn't include it. I have no idea why. Oh wait, I did include it. Illumise. Illumise S tier. No question asked. So yeah, actually, in fact, most of the S tier, I might remain in those S tier unless the damage output is just so ridiculously high. Otherwise, I'll put them in the A tier. So yeah. So Haxorus, the damage output is just there. Next up is Haxorus, the damage output is just there. The damage is just so ridiculously high. This is just a free choice band Tailwind Haxorus. Wait, why did I put Haxorus in the A tier? It should be in the S tier. So yeah, on par, maybe it's lower than the Mega Haxorus, because Mega Haxorus is just so ridiculously high. So yes, because this is like a free Excalibur or oh, okay, I think I know why. Because Haxorus, it doesn't have a sweeping edge. So yeah, but the damage is just so high with a choice band Tailwind. I think I can uh it can just easily one shot a lot more. So yeah. Yeah, Keen Edge, Excalibur or Keen Edge. Breaking Swipe. Yes, Keen Edge Breaking Swipe. Okay, yeah. That's even though Breaking Swipe has 60 base power, but because of Keen Edge, it just boosts up to another base power. So that is just pretty good. And with a choice band, ridiculously high attack, I think it works. And that's Intimidate. So yes, I think Haxorus, I have no idea why I put in A tier. It should be in it should be in S tier. Just one tier lower than Mega Haxorus because Haxorus has an sweeping edge and even higher damage, higher attack stats, and he has a Keen Edge ability, and he has a Stab Excalibur, meaning I'm doing a double target Excalibur attack. Mega Haxorus, the only downside is that it is not a priority attack, but it is decently fast, so this is just a free Tailwind, Mega Haxorus, Excalibur all the way, just right Havoc. So yeah, no question asked, top tier. So yes. Next up is Torkoal. Torkoal is a bit of an interesting team. For those who doesn't know, Torkoal is a very famous in a VGC format. Once you manage to set up Trick Room, Torkoal can just sweep. Even though it's a low special attack, it can just still sweep with a choice specs drought eruption. So just take note of it. All other abilities is not as great. Okay, it is great, just that it's just a bonus. That's what I meant. Impenetrable, I'm immune to safety. It's like a safety goggle. I'm immune to all weather mons, or it can only be damaged by attack. So this can be used as a life orb. Yes, only damaged by attacks. Life orb drought. Life orb drought. Oh yes, Torkoal is easily an A tier now. The only problem is that you need to set up a Trick Room, or otherwise, and after you strat with Torkoal, that could be an option. Otherwise, I will put it in the A tier. So yeah, I'll put it maybe in the mid A tier. So yeah, around this line. So next up, Arboliva. So Arboliva is a bit of an awkward spot because it may have good special attack. It is the only, okay, it's not the only one, but it has a Fang Guard ability, but because of its, okay, not, but fortunately, it has a Seed Sower where no matter what, as long Arboliva is able to tank a hit, it can set up a Grassy Turret. So yeah. So unlike the original game, if the opponent just one-shot your Arboliva, you still can set up your Grassy Turret. But for this Elite Redux game, you need to be alive and tank and damage, then you can set up a Grassy Turret. So just take note of it. So yeah. And at the same time, it can heal party status if you can tank and damage. So yeah, this could actually be an interesting gameplay. You just need to be able to survive. So because of this, you can just max your HP and your defense with a tactical vest since your special defense is pretty high. Just to take some damage, and then you can just use this as a support with a helping hand, flower heal. Yeah. If only it has Rage Powder, that could be a better option, but otherwise, Yep, that is a pretty a great option for Arboliva. Even without Seed Sower, I think Fangard is just a pretty good option. If it doesn't have Fangard, I think it may not be as reliable. But with Fangard, I think it just go up high in the list. So yeah, I think it's maybe slightly better than gyaradeath because of this Fangard. So yeah. Okay, next up is Meowscarda. Meowscarda, very high damage output because of Magic Guard. I don't really be concerned of Magician and Magic Bounce. Magic Bounce is just a bonus. But I think Magic Guard, Overgrow, and Long Reach with a choice band attack and speed, with a good attack and speed, Flower Trick damage is just going to do so much damage with a choice band. So yes. So this could be a choice band and a tailwind. The only downside is that it is only a single target. So yes. Or otherwise you can use a Fluttering Leaf, but Fluttering Leaf is a contact move, so it doesn't boost your long reach damage. So just take note, even though long reach say that it does make contact, it only boosts move that is a non-physical contact move. So even though it has a contact move like Fluttering Leaf, it will not get boosted by a 1.2 times for this ability, even though it makes this Fluttering Leaf a non-contact move. So just take note of it. But otherwise, this is a very good choice band user. But it may not be able to one-shot a lot more. So yeah. But I will still put it in a pretty high tier, as you can just set up with a tailwind and just choice band and just do all our damage. So yeah. Next up is Raichu. So both Alolan Raichu and... do I have a normal Raichu? No, I don't. Okay, then I'll just put it with Alolan Raichu. For this Elite Redux game, all Raichus has been buffed because you can also hold it as what's it called? Light Ball. Usually only Pikachu will have a stat buff of using a Light Ball, but for Raichu and Alolan Raichu, it will also have a stat buff. So because of this, it got buffed way better. So yes. So for both Raichu and Alolan Raichu. So yes, for Raichu, okay, because I didn't mention about Raichu, the original, I will just pay attention to Alolan Raichu. So yeah, Alolan Raichu, very good. Is a very good Pokemon because you can set up terrains, and as I've mentioned, with a Light Ball and a Surge Surfer, it's just double your speed, and this is just a free Rising Voltage. Basically, you just spam Rising Voltage here and there, and you can just do so much damage out of it. So yeah. And it has Levitate, and not just that, it has Ground Shot. It can now do damage against ground type Pokemon for this ability, and it's Levitate, I'm immune to ground types. So yes, because of this, it is so pretty good. And not just that, it can be used as a semi-support with a Focus Sash. You can have a Fake Out Pressure. So yeah. So yes, because of this, you can also have options for like a Short Circuit and Circuit Mine. You can you can have a Short Circuit and leads with another Pokemon that has a Electric Surge, so that you can make full use of make your damage output even higher for Alolan Raichu. So that could be an option for it. So yeah. Otherwise, Alolan Raichu easily S tier. I will put it as A tier though, not S tier, because I don't have experience with it in my gameplay. So yeah, when it comes to that, I may put down to S tier, but otherwise I'm not so sure whether it can just one-shot any mons. But as for now, I'll put it as a very high A tier. So yeah. Next up is Gardevoir. Gardevoir, no question asked, S tier. Reason? It has Queen Majesty. Not just that, it has Soul Heart. So because of Queen Majesty, it can protect the opponent from priority attack. So I can foresee that it's going to be used in a lot of times. And it has a very good speed and a special attack. And it has access to E-Force and Dazzling Leap. So yeah, And not just that, it has access to Trick Room, so it can be used as a Trick Room user. And not just that, it has Magic Guard, and you can hold it with a Life Orb ability. And not just that, it has Serving Grace. And because of Serving Grace, you can use an Esper Ward's Serving Grace. Esper Ward's is a move that has been buffed. Okay, no, it's a new move that it will raise your special attack. But because of Serving Grace, you have 100% increase to chance to increase your special attack. So gardevoir, yeah, it's going to be insane. It's definitely an S tier mod over there. Just easily set up with it. And there's so many roles that it can use, so easily S tier. Definitely higher than alakazam. Okay, since I'm here, alakazam role is way higher than alakazam because of that Queen Majesty. Alakazam role is just basically just a damage output because of Magic Guard and a ridiculously high special attack with Psychic Mind and a Mystic Power. So yeah, likewise for Mega Alakazam, you can set up a Psychic turret out of it. So yeah, basically it's pretty good. Mega Alakazam is like a lesser, or I should say the inferior form of Gardevoir because it requires a Mega Stone. So requires a Mega Stone just to stop any priority attacks, and then you can just E-Force all the way. So I think Gardevoir is still a better option for it. So otherwise, Alakazam also S tier because of a very high damage output. Even though it is pretty niche because its role is just to spam E-Force and just to set up terrain for Mega Alakazam, and Alakazam is just, the damage output is just so high. So yeah, that's why I put in S tier. It can easily kill mods. Just take note of it. It can easily kill mods. Next up, Annihilape. Annihilape, it has it can perform a lot of roles. The only thing is that in order to perform a lot of roles, it requires a lot of setup. So one role that is pretty good is it has Final Gambit, Choice Scarf Final Gambit. With a base speed of 90, it can outspeed a lot of mods. Now I know, as long as you are more than 420 base power, 420 base speed, you can outspeed a lot of mods. So that's one thing I've just known. That's one thing I just realized. As long you have 394 and above, you can already outspeed a lot of mods. So yeah. So, and not just that, Annihilape has so many users. Even though it got nerfed from the version 2.2, where it doesn't have anchor point anymore, it now has reach point. But because there's so many rules, it just I give it as a very high tier. So what reach point does is that once you get crit, it will get boost by its attack. So this is a pretty good combo with a take flight, with a Gale Wing take flight combo. So yeah. Not just that, it can boost its Rage Fist. Not Rage Fist, its Vigilance can improve its Ghost type attack. Hyper Aggressive, you can do double times. Yeah. And yes, it has 20% chance to cross fail if you want to use that. Or I feel Defiant is a better option for it, in my own opinion. But otherwise, you can also do some crazy shenanigans with Shadow Grave, with under a fog team, using a Shadow Grave. Once it faints with under the fog, it can revive again. Excuse me, but it can only do once, of course. So yeah, so that's why I had this crazy shenanigans using a Final Gambit combo. So yeah, Final Gambit combo with Revival Blessing out of it. So yeah, and Annihilape is there. Otherwise, I think because it requires in order to perform its role, it still requires setup. So that's why I think I will still put it in the A tier. But I think I will put it just on par with gyaradeath. Yeah, maybe better than gyaradeath because it requires a bit of setup. So yeah. So next up, golisopod. Okay, yeah, I already mentioned about golisopod. If by the time you watch this video, it's just one day before it. So yes, golisopod, right now it has been, because of this revamp tier, yeah, it's just buff. The main reason why, because of that first impression, because of that first impression buff, where it will always flinch and it gains stat with a base power of 75, it just deals so much damage out of it. So yeah, and because of this, it can be used in so many what's it called? It can be used in so many teams. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. uh yeah. And the damage output is very high for a Mega golisopod and likewise for normal golisopod. So I can foresee that it's going to be used in so many teams. So yeah. So yeah, next up it will be Luminositeon. So unfortunately, Luminositeon okay. Okay, it's not unfortunately. It has very good speed and special attack. So that means it can be used with Origin Pulse, and then you can just set up Tailwind, Origin Pulse, and or if not, Ominous Wind or a Dazzling Leap. And because of its huge wind buff and Technician, Ominous Wind is going to, instead of a 60 base power, it becomes a 170 base power on double target attacks. So yeah, just take note of it. And if you're going to use it in a Fort team, it's going to do more damage. And not just that, it has Protein. So you can have a good combo with Protein. Yeah, become a stab or Winner's Win. And not just that, it has Dazzling, so it has a priority attack, and it has Storm Drain too. So yeah, so many combinations with this. So yeah, Luminositeon at first, because it may require some setup, but it can just have a Tailwind first turn attack. It can do so much damage. So Luminositeon is a very high tier. I think it's on par with Alolan Raichu. So yeah. Next up, Cerluedge and Armourage. So Armourage is actually pretty interesting. It can be used in a lot of teams. It has White Guard. It can be used as a support. It can be used as a trick room. Not just that, it has one of the more it can do is artillery. The only problem is that it is not a priority attack. So yeah. So because of artillery, all Mega Launcher move will always hit, and it can hit a double target attack. So meaning this is just a free armor cannon spam. Even though armor cannons, armor cannon will reduce your stats lowered. So yeah, but then again, it has so many combinations. You can have a Mega Launcher artillery, so you can have a Specs Tailwind, or if not a Scarf user. That could also be an option. A Scarf user with a Sun team, that could be an option. Or if not, you can go crazy with Witness Policy set with weak armor just to up your speed. So because of this, yeah, Armourage is going to be high in the tier, as high as Luminositeon. Next up is Cerluedge. So Cerluedge is a pretty interesting team. Unfortunately, it's not as great as Armourage, even though the damage output may be a bit higher. But likewise, it requires some setup before it can do some work, in my own opinion. Can it do... No, yeah, it can't have a trick room. So yeah, because of this, the damage output is not as high, and it is pretty niche if you want to use in an iterate rush. But then again, it can do some work, but I believe it requires some setup. Hence, I believe it's belong to the B tier, a better form of, way better than Hisuian Typhlosion, in my own opinion. So yeah, unfortunately, it got nerfed for it. So that's my own opinion. So yeah. Next up is Pharaoh. Pharaoh is going, it's not busted, but it's actually pretty broken or OP because of Gilwing and Ambush. So because of Gilwing, there's so many options. You can play as a support with a Gilwing Tailwind set. So yeah, but not just that, you have Intimidate, you can lower the enemy's attack. You have options for Sniper if you want to, or you can Accelerate, where you can just keep on spamming Sky Attack. So that could also be an option for it. But I think the highlight is just Gilwing. So you can even have a pretty insane with Gilwing, Power Herb, Sky Attack. That could also be an interesting thing with an Ambush. So but Otherwise, Gale Wing, Ambush it will guarantee crit. You can have a fun combo with Dual Wing, or if not, Air Cutter. Air Cutter is a physical attacker, so yeah. And yes, with Ambush, Choice Band, it's just going to wreak havoc, so yeah. Just that Big Pack doesn't improve the damage output for Air Cutter, so Dual Wing Beat is a contact move, so you can have options for it. So yeah, meaning Dual Wing Beat 45 times 1.3 boost and with crit. So yeah, it's like a 90 times 1.3 boost. That is like how much? 117 damage with a crit. And it's a priority attack with a going. So in my own opinion, Pharaoh, it is an A tier. Easily A tier. And can be used in so many roles. But I think Armourage is a better option because it can do double target attack and only it's a double target attack, and Pharaoh is only a priority attack and it's a single target. Oh, actually it can do double target. I'm sorry, because of Air Cutter. Yeah, sorry. Priority, double target with a crit. So definitely better than Armourage. In fact, I think it might be even be better than Alolan Raichu because it's a priority attack. I totally forgot about it. Okay, Jinx. Okay, since I'm talking about Jinx, I'll talk about Jinx and Surprise. So what Jinx does is that it's a very good option because it has Psychic Surge, it has Dancer, it has Psychic Mind. It has so many options. For it, you can block the attacks, or otherwise you can have a free setup with a Dancer move and allow your Jinx to outspeed. And because Jinx has a pretty good special attack and a special attack, you have options for Tailwind set 2 with a Psychic Surge and the E-Force combo. And not just that, it has a Stab, Amplifier, Hyper Voice, Refrigerate. I'm losing my voice now. So yes, he has access to Hyper Voice, Refrigerate, it converts normal type into Ice type move, and with Amplifier, Hyper Voice do more damage. So this Jinx is going to be an insane high damage output with a choice specs. This is easily a choice specs user. Easily choice specs with a Psychic Surge and a Tailwind combo with it. So yes. Jinx, very high tier. The damage output is just so high. In fact, I think it might even be I didn't make full use of it, but I think it's like almost on par with alakazam in my own opinion for it. Because of this damage output. And it's like it's like almost a Cobalion set, in my own opinion. Yeah. So next up is the evolution form. Even though the damage output is a bit higher than Jinx, but the speed is been nerfed. But then again, it has a pretty good, interesting. It can still set up Psychic Surge. It's a Dancer move. It has Amplifier. Snow Song sound move get 1.2 time boost and become Ice type if normal. So it's basically a better form of Refrigerate. Refrigerate is 1.1 times boost. So yeah, and not just that, Resonance, it can cause the opponent to bleed, which means it's like a burn damage, and the opponent cannot heal. Yes, for that first turn, if he wants to heal. And it has a beauty sound, means it can 50% chance to confuse the opponent, which means no, sorry, not confuse, infatuate the opponent, meaning that the damage output for the opponent will do less damage against me. So yeah, but so because of this, I think Surprise is a pretty interesting Pokemon. I don't think the damage output is as high as Jinx, but I feel it could still do some work because 90 base speed is a pretty good option, and it can really outspeed a lot of mons for it if you are using a Scarf. If you are going to use a Tailwind, you basically outspeed every one of them. So yeah. So in my own opinion, I think Surprise is just not S tier, but probably an A tier. Yeah. Be just slightly lower than than Armourage, in my own opinion. I don't think the damage output is as high as Jinx. So yeah, that's my own opinion. When I'm going to feature Sopanis, we will see how it goes. Okay, next up, kommo-o. Kommo-o requires setup, so it is a B tier. And it can be used in different teams. So yeah, I will. Let me think. Because it has so many roles, it can be used as a iron defense body press. Okay. So I know that A tier belongs to tier that in the very first turn it requires some setup. Actually, yes, kommo-o can also do likewise. If you are just going to use a choice scarf Clangry Soul, because kommo-o is the only one that has Clangry Soul with a dragon type attack. So sorry, not Clangry Soul, Clangry Skill. So there's options for it, for a choice scarf or a choice specs version out of it. Otherwise, you can have a Clangry Soul throat spray setup, because look at its ability. It is just so tanky, and with its defense of 125 and special defense of 105, it's just so good. Prism armor. It takes 30% damage less from a special attack. It has better armor. I'm immune to all crits and I take 20% less damage from all attacks. I have Prism armor. I take 35% less damage from super effective damage. And I have Rust Skin. I have Bulletproof. I have Sunproof. Yeah, kommo-o is just a free. It's just a free setup, and not just that. I can have Intimidate, Scare, or if not a Vanguard ally with it to set up. So because of this, kommo-o is an easily A tier, even though it requires some setup, but because of this, it has so many roles and it's just so tanky. So in my own opinion, kommo-o is in easily A tier. So yes, I'm finally done with the A tier. Oh, yeah. Okay, at least it's about an hour plus, so it's not as bad as before. Okay, next up, I've already done Oriocorio is EV. EV is a broken mon, SS tier, because of moves that has, I'm not sure if it's a bug, but I think it's the death that's what it's trying to do, is that you can evolve and devolve again, meaning you can evolve EV into a Flareon, get a Flamethrower, then you devolve into EV. EV has now Flamethrower, then you evolve again into a Vaporeon. Vaporeon will now have Flamethrower. That's basically what it is. And not just that, it has a Prankster. And not just that, EV has Prankster, so I took skill swap from Espeon, and yeah, Prankster skill swap with Bruxish is just broken. EV is just a bit easily broken Pokemon. So yeah, that's my own opinion. Let me know in the comments below whether you agree or disagree. Next up, Meganium and Bayleef. I don't think it's an S tier. I don't think it's an S tier, but it's actually pretty good, and it can be used in a lot of teams. So its role is pretty standard, just Rich Powder, Helping Hand. So let's look at Bayleef first. So why Bayleef is good is because of it has Grassy Surge, and it has an Evil-like combo. And it has Grass Pelt, where under a grassy terrain it will boost my defense even further. So this will just make Bayleef even more tanky. And it has access to Jungle Heal and Rich Powder. So this just with these two moves is a pretty good support over here for Bayleef. And it's because of Grassy Surge, you can just switch in and switch out here and there to have a semi-support. And not just that, you can have options for Regenerate and Natural Cure. So yeah, pretty good. Meganium it could be a better option. In fact, actually Bayleef is more tanky than Meganium. Just take note of it. If both Pokemon are max HP and max defense with a bow nature, but because Bayleef has Evil-like, it is more tanky than Bayleef. It's more tanky than Meganium. But otherwise, Meganium, it has a similar role with Helping Hand and Jungle Heal. and a Grassy Surge with an Overgrow. But because of this Grassy Surge and Overgrow, it has options for Giga Drain because of big leaves, because it can do so much damage. But otherwise, Meganium can be as a support role. And not just that, it can have a Tri-Edge ability. So because of Tri-Edge ability, it is a better form of Bayleef in my own opinion. So you can go crazy. You can Flora Heal, you can Giga Drain, you can Draining Case, you can be a support set with a Jungle Heal. You can activate your Witness Policy with Draining Case or Giga Drain. I highly recommend just use Draining Case and not Giga Drain because Giga Drain can actually be quite powerful. So just take note of it. So because of Big Leaf, yeah. Otherwise, yes, Meganium pretty good, but I don't think it's under the S tier. I believe it's under a A tier. So Meganium will be just Meganium Bayleef will just be one step lower or higher than what you call it, than this Abomasnow. Okay, next up, I've already explained alakazam and gardevoir, so they are easily S tier because the damage output is just so high, and yeah. Katana. In fact, all sweeping edge Pokemon. So, Katana, the damage output is just so high, just one Tailwind, and just Excalibur. Yeah, Choice Band KO. Likewise, Iron Crown, Excalibur, and not just that, it has Quad Drive, Mystic Blade, damage output, very high. You have some combinations with Sweeping Edge. Okay, so Mystic Blade is that it converts a Kid Edge move into a special attacking move. So you just max speed and max special attack, you just think of it. So yeah, don't be too concerned of that attack stats. So yeah, even though you can have a Swords Dance, but because of Misty Blade, it doesn't really matter right now. So Sweeping Edge, Excalibur, Choice Band, up to you, or if not, Boosted Energy. Yes. Otherwise, you can have options for competitive, Technician, or Fearmonger. Fearmonger, there's a chance you can even lower the attack and special attack onto the opponent, and 10% per chance to paralyze onto the opponent. Iron Crown is a busted Pokemon. In fact, Iron Crown is going to be one of the top tier. In fact, I think it's better than Arcanine, so yeah. Cobalion, similar options. Now, Cobalion has been buffed because of Steelwalker, meaning Excalibur is going to do more damage. So, yes, Cobalion, another high-end one on par with it. Wait, where is my Iron Crown? Oh, sorry, I thought this is my Iron Crown. But yeah, Cobalion is pretty good. I didn't include Iron Crown. Okay. Okay, I'm back. So, yes, Iron Crown, easily S tier. It might even be better than Cobalion, in my own opinion. So, yeah. So, I already explained Haxorus, Mega. Garchomp Mega, I will save it for next time. Bishop Redux, I will save it for next time. Gallade, similar option. Sweeping Edge is one of the Sweeping Edge. Yeah. I think I actually forget to mention. Sweeping Edge is basically a Kid Edge move, convert a single target will become a double target. So yeah, that's why it's easily a very powerful mon. So Cobalion, I'm not so sure what is the damage output, but because of Sweeping Edge and Gallade, it has so many roles that it can be used. You can be a trick room set, it can be used as a sweeper too. So because of this, I put Gallade as one of a top tier mon, as high as Haxorus. So all these mons are easily S tier because the damage output is just so high. That's my own opinion. Next up, okay, I think I finished questioning for my Sweeping Edge. Actually, yeah. Now that I've mentioned, yeah, I totally forgot about my tier list. Golisopod, the damage output is high, but it will not one shot. So yes. In fact, it's actually on par with Barrel. So that is a mistake on my part. Yeah, just take note of it. Smeargle, SS tier. just take note of it. So nothing more to say. SS tier, Smeargle, I think you already know what it is. Among Us and Fungus. Among Us is a pretty interesting option. So Among Us is actually pretty. It's actually basically like meganium.bayleef, but a lesser option. The reason is I'm not so sure whether it's been buff or nerf. So yeah, let me find out. Yes, okay. Status move will ignore immunity, but it will always go last. So because of this ability, it is not as good. So but it has options that if you want to spore into a grass type, you can do that. Otherwise, I think even then again, you can just use Infiltrator or Adaptability. I think it doesn't really matter. So yeah, but otherwise, Regenerator, Effect Spore, Dry Skin, Among Us is just going to do its normal role by using Spore and Rage Powder. Yeah, that's just basically about it. Fungus Effect is actually a better option because of, yeah, even though it has a similar ability, its speed is actually even lower than Among Us. So meaning that it can spore into all. In fact, I can safely say it can spore into all mons that is a carry, all except Stakataka. Let's take a look. So Stakataka is the only mon that has base speed of 7. Any other carry mons, it will be like, I don't consider Pichu as a carry, so yeah. But then again, it's already on par with Fungus. So yes. Steel Leaks is already 20. So yeah. So that's the reason why Fungus, it is one of the top tier ones. Unfortunately, well, the rule is just pretty standard. So I will bring down to A tier because the damage output is not as high. But yes, Fungus, I can foresee that it's going to be commonly used. So next up, it will be Mousehole. Mousehole. Similarly, Mousehole is basically do as per normal. The only difference is that it's just been buffed. So you have options for Helping Hand, Follow Me, or otherwise you can have a Population Bomb. Wait, does it have Follow Me? It should have Follow Me. Yeah, yes, Follow Me. You can beat up combo, Population Bomb. Yes, Strength Guard. You can be used as a support or you can be used as a carry. Yes. So yeah, I don't think, but unfortunately the damage output is not as high. So in my own opinion, it's going to be downside together with Fungus. Metagross, likewise, maybe just slightly lower than Fungus. Metagross is just a better it's just a normal it's just a normal Metagross, just that it's been buffed with a high attack. So yeah, it has options for Tailwind set and then just spam max attack, max speed, and then just spam all your attacks. The only problem is that yes, it is only a single target attack. So yeah, but fortunately because it has Tough Claw, you have options for Assault Vest. It has options for Witness Policy. So yeah, because of this, Metagross can be pretty deadly. So I will put it in the A tier. A pretty high or mid A tier. So yeah. Actually, yeah, let's put it on par with this Jinx. Next up, Tornadus. Tornadus, the damage output. Okay, I'm not sure if the damage output is there or not. Because it has weather control and it's prankster. And yeah, because of this, it's pretty good. It has a pretty good versatility and it is the only mod that can set up any other weather mons. It has airborne, it has boost its own ally and my flying type. Okay, it has Keen Eye. Okay, the damage output is there, but I don't think it will be able to one-shot mons. So I feel slightly lower than Metagross in terms of damage, but it has a lot of rules for it. That's my own opinion. So yeah. Dragonite. Dragonite easily S tier. No question asked. let's just take a look. Dragonite, no question asked. It has right now it has aerial light, so this is a step E speed. Not just that, it has prism skill. You can set up with a tailwind. Not just that, you can have an assault vest or a winner's policy set. Yeah, you can have a dragon dance set. So yes, and the tailwind set support or a carry Dragonite S tier, no question asked. So yes, yeah, Empoleon, but for this case it's just a redux form of Empoleon. Also same thing. In fact, I might go down a bit lower because the main rule is just to set up either a drought or a snow warning. But otherwise, it can be used as a tailwind set and then just spam heat wave or even blizzard. So in fact, it could actually even be a better option of all this tier. The damage output is not there, but because it has so many roles and so many versatility, is on par with golisopod. In fact, I think I might want to put it even higher. So yeah, because of its versatility of it. Female Indeedee, S tier, no question asked, because it is the only Pokemon, as I mentioned, with follow me. Yeah, let's take a look. I already mentioned about it, but yeah. Female Indeedee, no question asked. Friend Guard, it's the only Pokemon that has Friend Guard, Hospitality, Follow Me, and Trick Room. So yes. And Indeedee female is just do what it always do. But it's a S tier. Rillaboom. Rillaboom is basically like a buff Rillaboom. There's so many roles it can use. The damage output is just not there yet, unfortunately, but it can do some work. Because of Intimidate, it's a very good Grassy Search combo. I mean a Grassy Search wall, or terrain wall, I mean. But because it has Intimidate and it can be used as a physical attacker too. So in my own opinion, I think I will put Rillaboom just below, just in terms of damage output, it's just not there, but its rule is pretty good. So yeah, in fact, it's actually a better options of golisopod in my own opinion. Yeah, Holucha, likewise, it has so many roles. It can be used as a support. It can be used as a tailwind. So yeah. Okay, you know what? I think I'll just use this because I want to coincide with Holocha and Drifloom. So the reason is because of Unburden. Unburden is very good. Yes, so many ways of using it. You can have a witness policy set. You can use it as a grassy terrain set. Most commonly used is a grassy terrain. Mostly commonly used is a terrain set where you just give it a grassy seed, Saki seed, or misty seed, or electric seed, and then Holocha can just wreak havoc. And in fact, Holocha and Drifloom is the only one with Unburden and can set up Tailwind. And then you can just for Holocha you can set up with a coaching set. Or otherwise you can just it can be a carry, just spam acrobatic or close combat. So that is a pretty good option. Otherwise, yeah, you can have access with no guard, more breaker, that's up to you. I don't really pay attention to any other mons, but yes, aerodynamic, it can boost speed instead of being hit by flying types, so that could be an option for it. So likewise for Drifloom, Drifloom has so many ways of using it. Yes, low visibility, you can summon Fog for it, so you can play a Fog user game. Or otherwise, and not just that, you can have a flare boost combo with low visibility because it can just up your special attack when burned under the fog. So you don't need to make it hold a flame off for it. So yeah, and not just that, it has inflatable, it can boost your defense and special defense even further. So yeah. But the most commonly used for Drifloom is just Unburden, as mentioned, as is a similar role as Holucha. So yeah, so and so forth. So yeah, Drifloom and Holocha is just basically the same role. But I don't think it's a S tier, is mainly more of A tier. I feel it's a better option. The damage output is not there, but it has so many rules for it. So next up is Ninetales. Ninetales, okay. I won't put it as S tier, but I will put it as A tier because the damage output is not there, but it can be used in so many roles. It can be used in so many teams. So the reason is both Ninetales, it has Cream Majesty. Therefore, I can get rid of any priority attacks. Likewise, both can have a setup with a Tailwind and then just spam Blizzard for Ninetales. I mean for Alolan, and Heatwave for Ninetales. And not just that, Ninetales can also be used as a Flaming Soul with a priority attacks under a full HP. It's like a Typhlosion, so Heatwave could be an option. And with that, yeah, it moves. It move can be flip 5. It move. How do I say? For Pyromancy, it can burn 5 times as often for moves. So Heatwave is a 50 base power. So yeah. And Fairy Aura, there's options for Fairy Aura if you want to be a fairy set. And Alola Ninetales, similar set. Unfortunately, Northwind is banned, but it's still pretty very good. Snow Warning. Yes, you can have some good combo with Snow Warning, Ice Deal, just Ice Shot into your own Alola Ninetales and boost my special attack even further and just spam my Snow Warning. And it's because of Serving Grace. Oh wait, it's Serving Grace. It's not that. It's not the similar ability like inflict 5 times. Like instead of burn 5 times, is frostbite 5 times. Correct me, I was wrong. But otherwise, yes, all opportunity for Frozen Soul, so you can have the Frozen Soul choice specs, Frozen Soul with a heal team. Alolan Ninetales could be there. And because of this, I realized, yes, it should be up in the tier list. In fact, I think it could be even. In fact, it's better than Gallade because it's a double target, and I think Sun Team is a way better options than Heal, so that's my own opinion out of it. So yeah. Okay, Illumise. Illumise is an S tier because it is the only mon with Prankster and Fangguard and has a Follow Me. So yes, Fangguard with Prankster and he has Follow Me. Yeah. Tailwind, Trick Room, no question asked. Yeah. Last but not least, Arcanine. So Arcanine, okay. Yeah. It's just it's basically the same role as Metagross but a better form because it has Immolate. It is like a inferior form of Dragonite. Because its main role is just to E-speed all the way. That's about it. Then if can, Tailwind set, Flare Blitz, or do some crazy shenanigans with their own abilities. That's about it. So yeah, in my own opinion, I feel I think it's a better form of Pharaoh because because even after the E-speed you can still do more damage. You can use other damage if you are using an Assault Vest set, but otherwise this can be used as a choice bender set for it. And yeah, yes, Guard Dog. Does both have Guard Dog? No, only normal Arcanine has Guard Dog, even with Hisuian Arcanine. So yeah, in fact, I feel Hisuian Arcanine is a better options for it. Because of Reckless and Rockhead. So you can do some shenanigans with Flare Blitz, Violent Rush, Flare Blitz, Choice Band, yeah, Choice Band, Choice Scarf, sorry, Tailwind, Flare Blitz, yeah, it can do some work. The only problem is that it's a single target attack, so yeah. But otherwise, that's a good option for it, and I will put this in the tier list. So yeah, I guess that's all about it. No, sorry, I lied. Yeah, next up, this is Iron Leaf. Iron Leaf is on par with this because it has Dazzling and it has Blade Master, and because of that, yeah, you can have a choice banded or booster energy combo. You can play with electric terrain or grassy terrain when you're using a boosted energy, it can be used as a support, and it has dazzling, so yes, it has so many ways of using this. In fact, because of this Iron Leaf, I feel Iron Leaf is a better option than yeah, Iron Crown. So yeah, because of its rule of, because it can be used in so many roles, and its damage output is just so high because of that sweeping edge. Next up is Flygon. Flygon is just a sweeping Pokemon. It's like basically like Sopranis, but I don't think the damage output is high though. Let me check. So Flygon, it has tinted lens. Okay, yeah. Amplifier. Song, where its Hyper Voice get boosted to become a ground type, and Dragonfly, it adds into Dragon type attack. So yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, this is a good combo with Choice Specs Amplifier and Song, and tinted lens will boost its damage. So because of that, I think it's a better form of Flygon and Armourage, in my own opinion. In fact, I think it might even be better than Luminositeon. So yeah. Next up is Exploud. Very similar, but Elite Redux Exploud is just, the damage output is just so high. In fact, it might be even higher than this. The reason why, normal Exploud is just a Punk Rock, which can do a lot of damage, and a loud bang, which Punk Rock Amplifier boosts 1.3 times when using a sound move. Punk Rock, same thing, 1.3 time move. That's the reason why Choice Specs Upper Voice, it do so much damage. Loud Bang, it can just 50% chance to convince the opponent, and Scrappy, I can hit into Ghost type attack, and I'm immune to Intimidate and Scare. So this is a pretty Exploud is both Exploit is a pretty good, but I think the Ghost type Exploit is a better option because I can use Boom Burst because it has ability called Noise Cancel. I protect my own ally from sound based move. So because of this, yep, Boom Burst all the way. Boom Burst, Galvanize, Amplifier with White Noise. So yeah, what does Rest in Peace do? I'm also not that sure. Okay, under the fog it heals. Okay, yeah. And at the same time I can static too. So Exploit Redux is a broken Pokemon. Likewise for this, but I think the damage output is, for a normal Exploit, is not as high. But maybe might be higher than a normal Haxorus. That's my own opinion. So yeah, Intimidate, Incineroar is just a better form of a Rillaboom. So yeah, Incineroar is a pretty good option because they have options if you want to use an Intimidate or Scare, and at the same time, it's a good fake out user. But otherwise, it can be used as a carry too. Just to, if I get hit by my own attack, or if I get crit, it will max my attack. Yes, Incineroar can be a carry if you're using an angle point variant for it. But otherwise, Incineroar can be used as a parting shot user. Does it have parting shot? Yes, parting shot. Oh, that scares me. So yes, it can have a parting shot option. So for this case, Incineroar has been buffed. It can be used as a dual role for it. So that's why I put it as a higher than a Rillaboom. Next up, Grimmsnarl is a better option in terms of support because it's the only mon that has both Scare and Intimidate. So because of this, I will put it higher than a Gardevoir, because not just that, Grimmsnarl can be used as a carry too, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, we can have a Prankster ability, Light Screen Reflect, Fur Coat. Okay, sorry, it can't be used as a carry, but it can be used in so many ways. It's only more with Intimidate and Scare. Fur Coat, make it more buff. Prankster, I can make it Light Screen and Reflect. In fact, I think Prankster is a more consistent option, but otherwise, you can have a Chip Tactic. Chip Tactic to just attack the opponent. If the opponent has already in 1 HP left, yeah, you can use Chip Tactic and then you can fake out or feint from there. Yes, he has fake out and feint. Or otherwise you can have a Tangling Hail, Tangling Hair, but I think Tangling Hair is more, it's a bit similar to Cotton Down. When it makes contact, it will lower the speed of all Pokemon in the team. So I need to check it out. I'm not so sure if it's like Cotton Down. If it's just only against enemies, then it's a very good option under a Tailwind team. So yeah. But otherwise, Grimmsnarl, because of Prankster and Chip Tactic or Tangling Hair, it has so many ways of using it. And because of the Prankster ability, it's just so many good combo. And the reason why I put in the S tier is because it is the only one with Intimidate and Scare. Just saying. So yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah. Last but not least, Figurath. Figurath, it's just an A tier because it is the only one that has Dazzling. How do I spell you? I'm sorry, I have no other idea how to spell that giraffe Pokemon. Figurath. Oh wait, sorry, it's not Dazzling, it's Armourage. But yeah, it's the same ability. Okay, yes, finally. So yeah, Armourage, it protects priority, it's like Dazzling. In fact, I believe it's the only one that can protect a priority and set up a trick room. So, and at the same time, you can scare the opponent. So that is a pretty good option. And not just that, it can also be used as a carry. Because of Contrary, it converts the stats. What Contrary does is that the stat raise or stat drops, it will become inverted. So yeah, meaning if I use Psycho Boost, because Psycho Boost will lower, originally it will lower my special attack, but because of Contrary, it will improve my special attack. So yeah, that's about it. But usually Figurath, Fairy Giraffe is mostly used as just to set up a trick room and then just be used as a support to Snarl all the way or just Hyper Voice. Unfortunately, there's no Dazzling Gleam, but yes. But you can have options to min loop on the opponent. So yeah, for it. So you can do that. And okay, yes, you can also use Nasty Plot if you are not going to use a Contrary variant. And then again, you can have Sap Sipper. So Loaded Dice Bullet Seed or Skilling Bullet Seed with Sap Sipper is going to boost your special attack. So with this Figurath, yeah, so many combinations with it in a pretty good tier list over here. So, but I don't think it's as good as like all these other, like all these after just set up a Tailwind and then just spam its move. So yeah. But otherwise, yeah, I guess that's about it for this tier list. Let me know in the comments below whether you agree or disagree with me. Yeah, it's a lengthy. And okay, it's almost about an hour plus, but of course got video editing. About 2 hours actually, almost 2 hours. So yeah, I guess that's about it for my revamp tier list. It's very long. But yeah, I think this is a more consistent way of using it because otherwise there's going to be so many S tier and A tier. So moving forward, there will be more mons separating, there will be land onto A tier. So yeah, when that happens, I might distinguish in between A tier again. So who knows when that happens. But usually most of the time in A tier is there will be a lot of mons with A and B tier. So yeah. So yeah, I guess that's about it. Let me know in the comments below whether you agree or disagree with me, or if you want to showcase more mons, let me know in the comments below too, that I can feature them out too. So otherwise, I think this could be the last video of my tier list. Otherwise, I may revamp the tier again, because I think moving forward I will combine both tier lists and my in-game combine both tier lists, in-game and team build all in one video, so that I can feature more megas over there or more restricted. So yeah, I guess that's about it in this episode. Until then, I will see you in the next video. See you there. Bye.